Yeah, it's very crazy. Actually, Chinese government violates every human right in China,
Really?
and one thing we should not forget is the concentration camps in Xinjiang area that between 1 and 3 million Uyghur and other Muslim minorities were have been detained in concentration camps. Um,
Wow.
that is the worst human rights disaster in 21st century.
Do you know what they're like?
Um,
Are they very similar to like the Nazi concentration camps and the Russian gulags, or is it sort of not clear as to like what they're like at all?
um, these are concentration camps, um, even though it's not like Nazis concentration camps that putting 6 million Jews um, into into the
Gas chambers?
yeah, and and um, uh, and
Yeah, so really, what are they like?
but I yeah, I mean the 1 to 3 million people in the concentration camps are brainwashed every day. They were forced to learn Chinese, to learn the propaganda songs, and they were forced to give up their religious and culture identity, um, and many, I think almost everyone, every detainee in the concentration camps um, has been tortured, and there are many reports that some women were raped, and some detainees have died in out of torture. Um,
Wow.
so it's kind of a culture genocide, and it's modern culture genocide because like a rape, torture, and death um, are rampant in the concentration camps.
Wow. Do you think so in the Chinese Communist Party, is there any religion or is it just all nationalism?
Um, before the establishment of the PRC, the People's Republic of China, in 1949, there were some traditional religions,
Mhm.
and some religions from the West, like Christian, um, and and uh, some Muslim, so um, and Buddhism. And then the Communist Party persecuted all religions during Mao Zedong era.
Really?
But yeah, but the party um, has failed in eliminating the religions, and but they try to put all the religions in the party's control.
Well, what do
Uh,
you mean they
they
failed?
uh,
What do you mean that they failed?
they I mean all religions were persecuted very severely during Mao Zedong era, but they didn't disappear. They survived the Mao Zedong's totalitarian rule, and then the Communist Party tries to control all religions by organizing their own official um, religious associations, like the five. The party recognized five major religions like Buddhism, Muslim, Catholic, uh, uh, Protestant,
Wow.
and Taoism. Um, so um, all the believers are required to go to these official churches, official associations, religious associations. Um, yeah, but
You can go.
yeah, some people prefer not not to going the official churches, but the underground churches. And according to the research, the number of all religion, um, especially the Christians, is still increasing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's any way for sort of like communism, like the Communist Party does, and religion to sort of coexist? Or is it sort of impossible in the fact that anytime that somebody observes God that is spiritual, that they can't really observe a God that is like a Communist Party, if that makes sense to you?
Um, yes, the Communist Party is a atheist political party, and uh, it encourages atheism. Um, but the party itself seemed to be the god.
Yeah,
So like the official ideology, Marxism, Leninism, Marxism, and the the cult of personality. So they want um, to serve as the god, but um, but they are not God, and they are like corrupt officials, and the people are very unsatisfied with the rampant corruption. Um, so um, so they um, so one more and more people go become believers, religion believers, and some Chinese people believe some small new religions, and um, which are labeled as evil cult by the government.
really. Wow.
Yeah.
So what are those sort of like underground religions like? Do they meet in secret and do they meet in just like houses or is there official buildings? What is it sort of like?
Yeah. So s- um, for example, the Christian churches, underground churches, we call them house churches in China. So they just gather um, in somebody's house and do their Bible reading and worship. Um, so the Chinese government didn't bother them too much before like 10 years ago. They did persecute some pastors, but not too many. Uh, and then um, um, and then they increased their persecution, and they made some new policies requiring all underground churches to register. in local government, and many pastors and house church activists have been arrested and sentenced. Um,
Do they
yeah.
even allow for the Bible to be spread, or is the Bible one of the banned books in the Chinese government?
Um, it's not banned, but um, it is controlled, like the printing, the publishing, translating, like the all are controlled by the government. So in 2005, I was a defense lawyer of a pastor. He was sentenced to 4 years because he privately printed a lot of Bibles.
Oh, wow. So the printing of religious text is only controlled by the Chinese government. That's so interesting.
And the Quran, um, um, so in general, the government treats different religions differently. Um, Generally speaking, the Taoism and the is okay generally, and Buddhism is okay, but Tibetan Buddhism is persecuted very severely,
Really.
and the Muslim, especially the Muslim in Xinjiang area, are persecuted very severely, and um, like some so the evil cult like Falun Gong,
Yeah.
and some other small religious groups, which are labeled as evil cults, are persecuted very brutally.